Hi, my name's Ellie.
And my name's Claire.
And we're going to take you through some exercises to help you improve your flexibility. But before we get started, we're just going to take you through some safety considerations. No specialist equipment's required, however you will need a chair. Just make sure that it's sturdy and stable. Make sure you've got some comfortable clothes and supportive footwear. And make sure there's plenty of space around you so that you won't trip on anything such as wires, rugs or pets. Make sure that you've got some water nearby. It's really important to keep hydrated. And if you haven't exercised for a while, please make sure that you consult with your GP or a health professional before you start doing these exercises. So that's all, we're ready to get started. So the first exercise we're going to start with is head turns. I'll just quickly demonstrate the exercise before we get started. Okay, off we go. So we're just turning the head as far round as you can to each side and then slowly coming back to the middle. And we'll just do a good few of these on each side to allow us time to just wake up the neck area. So these are really nice exercises to do if you've been sat down for a long time or lying down. So you can just really take your time with these. We're just warming up the body really slowly. Just do a couple more of those. And think about your breathing as well. Try and take some nice deep breaths. So the next exercise we're going to do is neck dips. So I'll just demonstrate first of all. So we're just taking the head, stretching the neck, reaching down as far as you can towards the chest, and then slowly raising the head back up straight. Okay, we'll get started. So we're just taking the head down, trying to reach down as far as you can, and then slowly coming back up again. Just be careful if this makes you dizzy at all, just take your time with it, always skip this exercise if it's not appropriate for you. But it is really nice to stretch out the neck muscles. So particularly if you've been doing something where you've been hunched over, reading maybe. It's just a nice exercise to combat that. Take plenty of time to breathe. Just do one more of those nice and slowly. That's it. And we'll stop there. So the next exercise we're going to do is shoulder circles. So I'll just demonstrate first of all. We're going to start off going backwards. Okay, off we go. So we're just going to take the shoulders back, just trying to increase the movement that you can get in the shoulder area. So each time just really try and focus, take a deep breath. So you don't need to do it too quickly, just take your time. So as your shoulders are going back, see if you can squeeze your shoulder blades a little closer together so you feel it in the back and the shoulders. So again, really nice exercise to try and improve the mobility in the upper body. Excellent, just have a little rest. And now we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're bringing the shoulders forward. So you might find it easier one way than the other. So really just trying to make that movement as big as you can, exaggerate it. Again, try and keep breathing as normally as you can as you're doing the exercises. And we'll stop there. So the next exercise we're going to do is called shoulder lifts. So I'll just demonstrate it first. So you're raising the shoulders up towards your ears and then slowly lowering them back down. Okay, we'll get started. So raising the shoulders up towards the ears or as high as you can and then slowly lowering back down. Again, just like with all the exercises, breathing is really important. So just try some nice deep breaths. That'll just help you relax and get a little bit more movement. So really take a deep breath, raise the shoulders up and then relax them down as far as you can. Okay, the next time we're going to take the shoulders up, we're going to hold them for a couple of seconds and then I just want you to drop them right down. So we're going to raise up, hold for a couple of seconds and drop down. Just do a couple more of those. So we're raising up and down and last one, up and down, and we'll stop there. So the next exercises we're going to do is called trunk rotations. I'll just quickly demonstrate the exercise. So we're folding over the arms and then turning around as far as you can, coming back to the centre, and then repeating that in the other direction with the upper body. Okay, we'll get started. So twisting around as far as you can, then slowly coming back to the centre, and then turning around to the other side. So this is a really good exercise for improving the upper body mobility, so helping with everyday activities, like getting dressed or reaching up for things. Just keep breathing nice and normally, or you might want to take some longer breaths. Now hopefully you can see that my hips aren't twisting too much, so the idea is to try and keep your hips as still as you can, and that way you'll get a deeper stretch in the upper body. So you're really just focusing on moving the shoulders, twisting the arms round, but keeping the hips still. Brilliant, and we'll stop there. So the next exercise we're going to do is called hip rotations. There are two variations to this. I'm going to show you the standing version and Claire will shortly show you the seated version. So you can put your hands on your hip if you wish, you don't have to do that. We're just taking the hips round in a big circle. This helps loosen off the lower back muscles. Okay.
And then all I'm going to do is doing a hip tilt, so backwards and forwards, just in case you can't do any of the rotations because of backs or hips. Okay,
let's get started. So again, just take your time, like with all the exercises, just take as long as you want. You can go slower than this if you wish, if you're really just enjoying getting that stretch. It's really good for our lower backs. And if you've got any problems with your hips as well, it can be quite a nice exercise to do just to take a bit of tension away. So the next exercise we're going to do is called back extensions, and it's a really good one again for helping improve the flexibility and taking away the tension in the lower back. So I'm going to show you the standing version, Claire will show you the seated version. So you don't have to do this, but I'm going to place my hands on my lower back. You can hold onto a chair in front if you prefer. Just keeping the knees about hip width apart, slightly bent, and then I'm just going to arch my lower back just gently, and then come forward again. I'll just repeat that one more time so you can see. I'm just arching the lower back and then coming up straight to standing.
Okay, now if you're seated, I want you to hip walk towards the front of the chair, front third, and do exactly the same. Hands on top of your bottom, and then just straight back and then back to start position.
Okay, let's start. So placing your hands on your back if you wish. Stretching, holding for a few seconds, and then just slowly coming back up again. Again, repeating that. You can hold for longer if you wish, so if you want to take longer having a stretch than me, particularly if you're feeling very stiff, it might just be nicer to hold that stretch a little bit longer. And really just take some time to take some deeper breaths with this exercise. That just helps relax the muscles more, it'll help you relax. And that's it, so keep going. So if you want to go at this speed, that's fine. If you want to go a bit slower to get more of a stretch, you can do that too. And just do one last one. Taking a deep breath and straightening back up again. Okay, so the next exercise is called Hug a Tree. So a really nice exercise for stretching our backs and the shoulder area. So I'll show you the standing. Again, Claire will show you a seated version. So we're standing, feet about hip width apart, knees slightly bent. Taking the arms out in front of you as though you're going to give somebody a big hug. And then if you can, just drop the head down slightly to increase the stretch. And then come back up to standing. We'll repeat that a few times. Okay, so let's get started. So making sure the knees are slightly bent. We're reaching the arms out in front. If you can, drop the head down, but if you prefer not to, if it makes you feel dizzy, please don't do it. Just keep the head up. Coming back up, you can just relax the arms out if you want to. And then we're going to repeat that a few more times. You can hold the stretch out longer if you prefer. And just take some nice deep breaths as you're doing the exercises. And it's important with this just to do the movements really slowly, so just slowly come back up. We'll do that one more time, so reaching out, taking some deep breaths. And then just slowly coming back up again. So the next exercise we're going to do is a shoulder stretch. So this is a really nice one for stretching out the back of the shoulders. So I'll just demonstrate it first. You're taking out one arm across in front of you. You can use the other arm just to give it a little bit more of a stretch, and we'll do that for both arms. Okay, let's do it. So take the arm out across in front of you. Use the other arm just to give it a little bit more of a stretch. And you should just feel just a gentle stretch across the back of the shoulder area. Just going to hold that for a few more seconds. You can take some nice deep breaths as you're doing this. Okay, and then just relax the arms down, and then I'm going to repeat that on the other side. So taking the arm across in front of the body, using the other arm to support it, and just hold that there, breathing as normally as possible. Just try and relax. And don't worry if you can't get your arms exactly in these positions, that might be too challenging. Just do what you can, it'll all help. And just relax the arms down. Oops. So the next exercise we're going to do is to stretch out the back of the arms. So I'll just demonstrate. We're going to take one arm back, just getting the elbow up as high as you can. Don't worry if it won't go all the way up towards the ceiling. Use the other arm as support. Okay, so we'll get started. So taking the arm up, just trying to get the elbow up as high as you can towards the ceiling, and you can just use the other hand as a bit of a lever to help. But you may well find that this is quite challenging to do that. It might be your arms more here. Just do what you can. You'll find over time that your flexibility will improve if you keep practicing. And breathe as normally as you can. And then when you're ready, just slowly release the arm down. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you might find it easier one way than the other. You might have more flexibility, or you might have an injury as well on one side. So it doesn't matter if the arm won't reach all the way back. Just hold for a few more seconds. And then release down. So we're moving on to side bends. So this is good for improving the flexibility in the sides of our body. So I'm going to show you the standing version, and Claire will be doing the seated alternative. So reaching down towards the side and then straightening back up again. Off we go. So using the fingertips, trying to see how far you can reach down, and then each time see if you can improve on that. We're going to take the arm down to the other side now. And you're trying to get as even as you can on either side, but you might find that challenging, so just do what you can today. Just going at your own pace with these exercises. We'll just do a few more of those, see if you can reach any lower. Taking a few deeper breaths will help as well. And we'll finish there. The next exercise is chest opener. So I'll just demonstrate the standing version first. Claire will be showing you the seated. Taking the arms out as fully as you can, pressing the shoulders back, and then bringing the arms back forward again.
Now just going to the side, stretch out sideways, bring yourself back, and then side the other way. And then bring yourself back.
Okay, let's go. Just taking the arms out, extending as fully as possible, and then slowly just relaxing the arms, bringing them forward again. And we'll just repeat this a few times, see if you can improve on the flexibility and the movement each time. And this is a good exercise for just having a really good stretch if you're feeling stiff. This also can help with your posture. And if we've got better posture, it'll also help with improving our balance as well. Let's do a couple more of those. Really trying to keep breathing as normally as possible. And last one. And then just relax the arms back down. So we're going to stretch out our calves next. So I'm going to show you the standing version. Claire will show you the seated version, which is just slightly different. So I'm taking the leg out in front, flexing the toes upwards as far as you can, keeping the back straight, and then lowering the foot back to the floor.
And all I'm doing is heel on the floor. Again, same thing, but just sat down. And then eventually slide it and bring it back to start position.
So we're going to take the leg out in front, flex the toes, keeping the back straight. And just hold that there for a few seconds. And then just relaxing the foot down. And then we'll swap feet. So taking the foot out, flexing the toes, keeping the back straight. Hold for a few seconds. Keep breathing normally. And relax, and then just repeat that again once more on each side. So taking the toes up, standing up tall. And that standing up tall, one, it's good for our posture, but also that just increases the stretch as well. And then relax the foot down, and we'll repeat once more on the other side. So toes up, stand up tall. Take a deep breath. And relax. So next we're going to move on to stretch the hamstrings, so the back of the thighs. So I'm going to show you the standing version. Claire will shortly show you the seated version. So you're going to take the leg out in front, but relax the toes down. Hands are going to go onto the bent leg, and then you're just hinging backwards, but keeping the head up and the back straight. And then slowly coming back up again.
And then I'm just going to hit again, hip walks, front of the chair. Again, just the front third. Again, do exactly the same. Try to keep your foot as close to the floor as you can. Hands on your bent knee. Again, lean forward, and then you should feel it in your leg. And then eventually come up, slide back, and then move on the other side.
Okay, let's get started. So taking the leg out, I'm going to put the hands on the other leg, hinge. I'm just going to hold for a few seconds. So making sure you're keeping your head up. And then when you're ready, just slowly come back up again. And then we're going to swap over. So take the other leg out in front. It's exactly the same thing, but the opposite way around. So hands are going to go onto the other leg. We're hinging backwards, keeping the back as straight as you can, head up, and then coming back up. I'm just going to repeat that once more on each side. So making sure your hands are going to go on the bent leg, pushing backwards, keeping the head up, coming back up again. And then opposite side, hands on the bent leg, push back, hold for a couple of seconds, and then slowly come back up again. So the next exercises we're going to do is a really good exercise for stretching out our wrists and hands. So it's quite simple. We're just going to take the hands, dropping the fingers down towards the floor, and then back up again. Okay, off we go. So just starting with the hands flat, dropping the fingers down towards the floor, feeling a little bit of a stretching sensation, and then after holding for a few seconds, raise the hands back up to the starting position. And we're just going to keep repeating that. The timing doesn't matter too much. If you want more of a stretch, you could hold for a little longer. And just keep breathing normally as you're doing the exercises. This exercise can help with doing your everyday activities, so such as things like it might be writing or opening tins, those sorts of everyday things that can get a little bit more challenging, especially if we've not been using those muscles very much. We're just going to do a couple more of those. And last one, really take your time, stretch the fingers down to the floor, and then back up again. The next exercise we're going to do is to stretch our fingers. So we're going to just show you first of all, just taking the thumb to each finger, nice and slowly, and then we'll start again. So let's do it. So taking the thumbs, pressing each finger into the thumb, really try and exaggerate that and press as hard as you can into each finger. So this is a good one to help improve the pathways to our fingers. So if you're struggling to get the mobility and the flexibility in the fingers that you want, it's almost like training the brain, reconnecting those neural pathways. Just going to do that a couple more times on each finger. And one more time, really just pressing into each finger. And that's it, relax. So next we're going to move on to toe raises. So you'll notice I've got a chair. That's going to help with support because it's quite challenging to do without holding onto something. You could use a wall instead, and Claire's showing you the seated option. So all we're going to do is lift the toes up as high as you can and then relax the feet back down. Okay, off we go. So using your support that you need, either seated or standing, raising the toes up as high as you can and then relaxing the feet back down to the floor. We're just going to keep repeating that. If you're really struggling, you might find this really hard to lift your feet, toes up at all. So just really try and focus in on the feet. Imagine you really lifting the toes up off the floor. And this just helps with improving the flexibility in the ankle joints and the feet, which will help with everyday activities like walking, and just generally just helping with circulation as well. So just do what you can, lifting the toes up as high as you can. So next exercise is heel raises. So I'm going to show you the standing version using some support, and Claire's doing the seated version. So we're just going to go up onto our toes, lifting the heels up off the floor and then slowly lowering back down. So you probably will find that you'll need some support here, either a chair or the wall could be fine too. Off we go. So lifting the toes up as high as you can and then slowly lowering the heels back down to the floor. And these exercises are really good to do. You can do them seated or standing. They can really help with your balance and improving the strength in your lower legs. So they should help you walking around the house more easily. Just try and keep breathing as normally as you can, keeping the posture good as well, keeping the back straight. Really try and focus in, putting a weight towards the big toe and your second toe if you can. So the next exercise is called heel to toe. So we're going to just do a combination of what we did in the last couple of exercises, but we'll combine it. So I'm doing the standing version, Claire will do the seated. So we're just going to go up onto your toes and then onto your heel. So going up onto the toe and then onto the heel. Okay, off we go. So you're raising the heel up and then placing the heel down and then lifting the toes up. And we're going to do some of these on each foot. You might find one foot easier than the other. Again, lots of benefits to this exercise. It helps with the flexibility, but also helps with circulation. And we're also building strength in the foot, which will help us balance better. So reducing the risk of falls if we've got better balance. Okay, and we're just going to do a few more on the other side. So lifting the toes up and then the heel up. Onto the toes, the heel, toes. So next we're going to do ankle circles. So I've just got some support here. Just make sure you've got something to hold on to if you are doing the standing version. So just circling the ankle round in as big a circle as you can, and then we'll swap legs. Okay, off we go. So taking the leg out, circling round as big as you can. Really nice exercise for helping improve your circulation and mobility in the ankle joint. We'll just do one more that way and then bring the foot forward, and then we're going to change direction with the foot. So just see you can get good flexibility both ways. Okay, rest that foot down. So we're going to do the same thing on the other foot. Really just trying to get as big a circle as you can. And bring the foot back to the front and rotate the opposite way. And then relax the foot down. So thanks for joining us on that session. You will find if you keep with it, you will improve and you will get stronger and fitter. So keep with it, try and do the exercises 2 to 3 times a week if possible. If you do feel a little sore, that's completely normal. It will go away, just do some more stretches. And say the more you do it, the fitter and stronger you'll get. So I hope to see you soon.